this team, we're going to stand together and fight this disease.
I come this way before, travel through the open door. Circumstances navigated the path, and life happened oh so fast. No, it got lonely sometimes. You see, I know we couldn't make it. Even when I'm off beat, I still land on my feet, and nothing can shake me, cause I know I took a hold. I never. This is where I am destined to be. I'm not ready to give up. I believe in the miracle of life. Life's a break with no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Games get played, can't take it personal, cause the devil is a liar. Telling you the truth, hey. It's all in what you do, hey. Some things you gotta do, hey. It's fight for millions, second, see the blessing in it. With much expected, much is given. When I make the living, now I'm giving back to children. Never let the power come first before your happiness, yes. You can be the best if you go the distance. Mix a little sweat with your persistence. You know that the best things are never instant. Just shine up, let them see your brilliance. Get up, open up your eyes now. It's the moment of truth. No backing down. We're bringing it tonight. Ooh, for the children, it's a given. You gotta give it, be a blessing.
This my personal statement. Run the game like I'm ASICs. Learn to develop patience, determined to be the greatest. Yeah, bobbing and weaving, they changing up like the seasons. Indigenous to the grind, so I do it for all my people. Jabbing the competition, back up against the ropes. You fighting for recognition, I'm fighting just to promote equality where we lack it. While cancer slowing our road, I'm confident we'll make it. We focus on common goals. Yeah,
give back, give love, give inside to the way. Never give up, stand tall to fight another day. 2 toes, 2 feet, I stand on the ground. I'm going back soon and fight this final round. Life's a break with no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your goal. Can't get played, can't take it personal, cause the devil is a liar. Telling you the truth, hey. It's all in what you do, hey. Some things you gotta do,
hey. Barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. I appreciate everybody coming in, man. The Last Dance, y'all. The Last Dance. I know many of us saw it tonight. If not, you got it on TiVo. It may be some killers in here tonight. So if you haven't seen it and you're watching the show, feel free to watch the show after you watch the Last Dance, all right? You can watch the show on replay, but I thank everybody for coming out, man. What up, DB? Phil 508, TB, Rob, Donald Simpson. I appreciate you, dog. DB. What up, Dream Cooking TV? Eric in St. Louis. What up, man? What up, Donald Simpson? Reggie Owens, what's up? Appreciate the comments, dog. What up, Phil? We in here, Rob. I appreciate you, man. So, Olden's gonna come in around 7:15 somewhere in there. He'll pile on in, man. But what did y'all think? Oh, you want to open up the phone lines real quick before Olden come in? Do y'all got anything to say? Oh, no, I'll open them up all at one time. But I like the ending, man. I like the end. I kind of lost the I kind of lost track when they were going back and forth a little bit, but I think it was a excellent. The transitions I thought were beautiful, but you just had to watch the entire thing to fully grasp it and respect it and honor it. But I thought the transitions were great. I love at the end when Steve Kerr died. Excuse me, I apologize. Steve Kerr dad was assassinated. The next scene, they're playing the national anthem at the start of a game. You know what I mean? Just real seamless transitions and stuff. The ending, Michael Jordan sitting by himself. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I know it's The Last Dance and it's centered around Michael Jordan. I would have loved to see him around his teammates, maybe fly them all in and they meet at the practice facility or something like that, some type of camaraderie. I kind of felt sorry for Mike a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I kind of have a level of empathy for him, just him and his cigar. It was no kids running to him at the end. At the end of those feel-good movies, you see someone running up to you and giving you a hug, embracing you and all that good stuff. That didn't happen at the end of the greatest basketball player of this era. Or maybe you guys consider this a new era, but my era of basketball when I was in my 20s, he ended his own movie by himself. I thought that was kind of, it kind of hit me in a different way. I love the fact that his kids were in the last episodes. It was great to see them. I wish they would have been a part of it more, because I think they should have narrated a piece of it so we can look inside their house. We never seen what it looks like inside his home. We never saw any footage of him in the backyard playing catch. Stuff like that. They talked about him going to college, so there was a great segue to talk about that and introduce that to the audience. But I wanted to know what Mike was as a father, like how you see those old VHS clips and shit with the grainy shit in it. Yeah, I kind of want to see stuff like that. I know it wasn't about that, but you build the character. You got to develop the character. The same way they talked about Steve Kerr and his family. The same way they did that, the same way they could have did that, Zelly. So at the end of the day, you always got to develop the character. You want the audience, people like me, to be as attached as possible. You understand what I'm saying? So, and they had 10 hours to develop Michael Jordan's character. So yeah, man, I enjoyed it though. I made it through all 10. I think purposely kept his family out to keep them out that side. Yeah. I thought that too, Reg. I definitely thought it was intentional. I thought maybe that this was a celebration. I thought this was a celebration or something like that. Maybe he would have had them. And yeah, man, I appreciate you, Jeffrey Lakes, man. Thank you. Yeah, I was rocking and rolling in that Bob Arum interview, man. I didn't want it to end. Bob got tired, Dude, y'all should see my notes. I got 2 pages worth of notes for this. This is easily an 8-hour interview. Look at all these notes I got. Look at all these notes, if y'all can see them. You know what I mean? I got so many notes for that interview, man. I was excited to do that interview. You know what I mean? Hopefully next month we'll probably do a part 2 or something like that. You know what I mean? And we'll keep on going. I appreciate y'all watching it already. You know what I mean? I know it was a long interview. You know what I mean? I appreciate you, Triple OG. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was fun doing it. It was really fun doing it, and I look forward to continuing that conversation with him. You know what I mean? So that's where we're at, man. Where else we at? Yeah, that's it. So last night's show was a riot. That was fun. You know what I mean? Shit, we've had a hell of a weekend on this show, man. You know what I mean? It's only gonna get better, man. I'm just building the legwork right now for the interviewees and everyone else to come in. You know what I mean? In terms of building that type of relationship, you know what I mean, as it relates to asking for interviews and stuff outside of boxing. You know what I mean? But what's up, Champ Side, man? Hey, that was a great picture of Reggie Owens I just saw on your Instagram. That was a great picture. And I couldn't donate, though. I couldn't donate my super chat to your thing yesterday for the Ludacris. I don't know why. I couldn't donate. It wouldn't let me donate. I was gonna thank you because I didn't have to read the comments. I can go to your page and watch the battle and don't have to read the comments to cover up half the screen. You know what I mean? So all those verses, y'all go to Champ Side. He covers all that. So yeah, so go ahead and do that. Make sure y'all subscribe too. So but yeah, man. Yeah, we gonna have some fun, man. We got a good week tomorrow. We got Kendall Gill. We're actually gonna talk about how to guard Michael Jordan. That'll be pretty cool. You know what I mean? The mindset. He actually played against Michael Jordan when New Jersey Nets played them. But y'all know Kendall Gill, man. Kendall Gill was a hell of an athlete. I remember him going to the Final Four at the University of Illinois. He and Marcus Liberty, if I'm not mistaken, Marcus Liberty was on that team. And OP is in the building. Without further ado, man, what it do? OP. Let me turn down the music, dog. Hey, I appreciate you coming in, big homie. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Something's up. I heard something pop. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. I see you, but I can't hear you.
Oh,
Yeah, now we hear you. Can you hear me now?
you can't hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now perfectly.
Yeah.
Oh, you bought that?
Okay.
Oh, you bought those headphones at the Floss and Swap meet, huh?
No, actually, I got them somewhere, but oh well.
I appreciate
These
you
are
coming in without
my
further.
DJ.
Okay, man. Without further ado, Olden Polynice, man. Thank you for coming in, man. I appreciate your connection is bad too.
It's my pleasure, man.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you for coming in, man. How you been, man? How you been? Before we jump into your career and all that, how you doing,
I'm
dog?
good. I'm good.
Uh-huh. Still with the
I'm good, man. Just enjoying life.
talk about what's been going on with you since your playing days has been over. I know, but so the people can understand.
Oh wow. Besides coaching, which that's been my primary thing, coaching. I've coached every level: high school, college, women's basketball, men's. The only place I haven't coached is the NBA, the actual league itself. So that's still on the plate, and I'm still fighting for it. So hopefully one day they'll realize and get smart, and somebody will hire me.
How competitive is that marketplace in terms of being a
It's
coach?
very competitive because it's like being a justice, a Supreme Court justice. Once you're in, you're in. The problem is getting in.
What do you think the holdup is?
What's that?
What do you think the holdup is? Because I remember there was a stigma against Kareem AbdulJabbar that centers can't be head coaches. You know what I mean? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I hear it all the time. Big men, they cannot be head coaches, which is a bunch of crock because Phil Jackson was a big man, and he does a good job. He did a good job. I mean, we've had big men that coach, and it's unfortunate that stigma is out there because it's so far from the truth. Because you got to remember, the two most important players on any basketball court is the point guard and the
remixing it. Your connection is bad, OP. You're frozen. Your connection is bad. Can you hear me? Your connection is bad. It's going in and out.
Oh wow, I can hear you.
I know. Yeah, you keep on freezing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you probably got to take it off Wi-Fi or put it on.
Oh man,
yeah.
I ain't good on that. I'm not a tech person.
Well, we gonna work it out. We gonna work out the kinks, man. So you just got to do. Did you get finished? What did you watch the last? Oh, he gonna come out and come back in. Okay, let's try it again. All right. Did you just get to finish watching The Last Dance?
I have not watched it.
You haven't watched? Why you haven't watched it?
Because I don't like watching it live.
Oh, because of the commercials.
Yeah, I wait, let it be done, and then I can just fast forward through everything.
Now, obviously, you're as important to that documentary as anyone. I mean, based off of what happened on draft day.
Yeah, me and Scottie Pippen. Yeah.
You.
The funny thing about that is that trade was made the night before. So if they had consummated that trade, it never would have gone down that way,
Did you know prior to the draft that you were going to Seattle?
I knew I was going to Seattle no matter what. So when they announced, when Commissioner Stern said with the 5th pick, the Seattle Supersonics select, I started to get up. because
Oh, okay.
I only worked out for 2 teams. It was them in New York, and New York was way down the line. So he said Pippen, and I was like, who the hell is Scott Pippen? Because I had never heard of Scottie Pippen.
Sure. Not many of us have at that time,
Yeah, and he just came out of nowhere, but that's a testament to Jerry Cross and his staff. They found him, from Central Arkansas. They found like one of the greatest players we've ever had. So, but I knew I was going to Seattle because when Chicago picked me, I was happy as hell. I'm going to play with Michael Jordan, but that was short-lived.
Talk us through the getting drafted process. You know what I mean? Because we're all like novice at this. You're the expert at it. Talk about like the actual process, getting drafted, putting on the hat, shaking the commissioner's hand, and go ahead, O.
Well, the process begins way before that. You got to go and fly around and meet with the general managers and the teams, and they put you through all these, workouts. And back when I was being drafted, we didn't have some of the things that they have now, like the Chicago combines and all that. So it was a lot different. But the conversations always took place, the interviews. And so it's one of those situations you kind of like want to be truthful with them. But what I found out is that they don't want to hear your truth. They want to hear what they want to hear. And so you got to learn how to speak the talk. And when you're coming in, you don't know how to do that as a young man. And so that was the hardest part, because I found out, I remember they asked me a question, Seattle did, and I almost messed it up for myself because they got mad with me. The general manager was like, wait a minute, this guy's telling us, oh, he's having a rough day today. And I was just being honest, as far as what had just happened. I had worked out, I had just had a baby. And so I was like, yeah, they don't want to hear none of that crap. They just want to hear that you are in the gym working out. That's it. They don't want to hear nothing else about anything else.
So Ralph Sampson didn't give you the ABCs?
Oh, no, Ralph. I didn't know Ralph like that. I knew him when, they were recruiting me, but, we weren't, it's not like I could call him and say, hey, how's the NBA life like? So it was cool though. I mean, I learned, and I try to, pass that on to other players. So that's what I learned about it, because I can't hold it for myself. I got a son now that's 7 feet, that's, has his eyes on the NBA. So everything I've learned over the years, I'm passing on to him and whoever else I work and train.
Now, let's go back to your college days. I believe you went to the Final Four like your first year, your freshman year, right? Did you think that basketball?
My rookie year?
Your freshman year. Did you like, oh man, this basketball stuff is easy. I'm about to be a Hall of Famer. I think y'all. I don't know. I'm not sure. That was the year Patrick Ewing won it, if I'm not mistaken. You had
Georgetown.
Hakeem
Georgetown ended up winning.
Hakeem Olajuwon. Y'all lost to Hakeem Olajuwon then.
Yeah, we lost in the semifinals to Houston, Hakeem Olajuwon, and that was pretty nice. Considering you had Patrick Ewing, starting center for Georgetown, Sam Bowie, who went number 2 before Jordan for Kentucky, Hakeem Olajuwon with Houston, who went number 1. So you had a number 1, a number 2, and a number 1, and Olden Polynice, who went number 8.
Wow.
But the 4 of us in the Final Four, and I battled with the team, minute for minute. And so I did a nice job keeping him in check. We had a chance to win the game. We had a chance to win the game at the end in regulation. And my teammate tried to shoot over Hakeem instead of dumping it to me. So that's how the ball bounces.
Now, with that being said, after your freshman experience, man, I'm basically unstoppable at this point, right? Is that the mindset going into your sophomore year? Being that you had such a great freshman career? Yeah, your Wi-Fi is jacked up. I think you got to take it off Wi-Fi. Yeah, you're going in and out.
Hello?
Oh yeah, you're back now. Go ahead.
I can see it here. Having trouble connecting this often Causeway.
Uh-huh. Now, what's the mindset of yours after the Final Four loss? Is basketball easy for you at that point? Are we back?
Whoa, I don't know what's going on.
Are we back? Okay, you good now. Now at your sophomore year, now you thinking you're going to be the number one pick. Obviously, is that your mindset going into your sophomore and junior year? Being that you face Akeem,
No, not at all.
Not at all. Okay, talk about that, bro. You don't mind?
Not at all, because you got to see what people don't realize is this: I didn't start playing basketball until I was 16 years old. God. So I was still in my early stages of basketball. So I was 3 years into basketball when I got to Virginia and made it to the Final Four. So I was in my infancy as a basketball player. So I had a lot to learn. It's just that I was doing, everything at a rapid pace.
Wow. God damn. That's that's astounding. 3 years, Final Four, 2 years later.
Because they see the end result. Yeah. Yeah, I did all that in 6 years.
Let's talk about your NBA career. First stop, Seattle Supersonics. I'm trying to think who's on that team. Michael Cage is on that team. I'm just going off memory. Xavier McDaniel, am I right? Okay, Sadell Threet. Who's on that team?
X-Men, yes. Michael Cage came on later. My rookie year, it was Dale Ellis, Tom Chambers, Xavier McDaniel, Derek McKee, who was drafted 9th. Myself. What's that?
I said the same draft as you, Derek McKee.
Yes, I went 8, he went 9. Russ Shaney, Kevin Williams, Alton Lister. Who else? Danny Young. National squad. I mean, those guys.
What's NBA life like? Take us through, like the rigors of the NBA. That
amazing.
You know what? I'm gonna give you my number. You want to call in because the number is the Wi-Fi is bad. You got a pen? You see this number on the screen? Take this number and call in.
I got it.
323. Yeah, just call in because your Wi-Fi is
283.
Yeah.
903. Okay.
Yeah, just call in and we'll do it that way. Yeah, we'll do it that way.
Okay.
All right, appreciate it. Yeah, he got that Wi-Fi. So he probably got, those rich players live in those if you got those condos, you know what I mean? You got them concrete walls, you know what I mean? My house made out of plywood, you know what I mean? So yeah, we'll do it that way, man, and we'll continue the comments. I appreciate y'all coming in, man. We gonna open up the phone lines and we're gonna take some calls and we'll go from there. You OPP, what it do? We loud and clear now? Can you hear me? Yeah, I hear you perfectly now. Sum up those 4 years.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I have the other one still on, so I got to cut that off.
I'll cut it off. I got you. Sum up those 4 years in Seattle in terms of being a rookie to your 4th year. Like, composite that experience.
It was the best time of my life because I had some great veterans. And so to me, that's what made it so fun. They were willing to share secrets with me and teach me because they wanted the team. Because if I got better, the team got better. So I didn't have selfish teammates. Some guys, I found out, over the years how it was. Some guys don't share stuff with, rookies and second-year guys because they're afraid of their jobs. But in Seattle, like we hung out together, we partied together. So if you saw us, you saw at least 10 other teammates. That's how we rolled. We rolled like that. We rolled 10 deep. And so that made for a great
for great chemistry. And all those guys were talented. Xavier McDaniel was a tough, hard-nosed guy that could score on anybody, could defend. Dale Ellis, one of the best shooters ever. Tom Chambers is one of the most underrated players I've ever seen. And so for me, we had the talent and we had the chemistry. It's just that unfortunately we were going up against Magic Johnson, Kareem AbdulJabbar, Michael Jordan. So we had some other great players.
I remember that team. I remember as a kid. Who were you ever in awe at some of the players you played against? You just mentioned Kareem, Magic, Michael.
Oh my goodness, yes. Like I played against Michael in college, so I wasn't tripping on him.
Oh, same conference.
We were friends as well. I used to talk to Mike because Mike was dating my college friend who was his, she was my tutor and they were dating. And so I would get on the phone and talk to him while I was, studying and all that stuff and, talking trash. Yeah, we're going to kick your ass next week and that kind of stuff. So we kind of knew each other and had a relationship. But I'll tell you this, when I first stepped on the floor against the Lakers, it was our first regular season game.
Oh, wow.
And I checked into the game and I walked up to Kareem and I was like, oh my God, you're Kareem AbdulJabbar. And he looked at me like, this young boy is cray-cray.
Oh, you said that to him. You actually said it to him.
I said it to him because I was like, dude, you like one of my heroes in sports. And I was like, you're Kareem AbdulJabbar. I'm saying this during the game. Man, Magic, they inbounded the ball. Magic threw it in. He shot that sky hook. I was like, wow.
Oh, man.
Dude, I don't care. I don't mind a bit. That's exactly how I did it because I was like, dude, this is my guy. This is Kareem. And so, but that was short-lived because like a couple plays later, he elbows me and I was like, oh, it's for real. Nah, never mind. I don't like you anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, he did that karate too. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I wasn't trying to fight him. I just, I just woke up.
Talk about you just mentioned your relationship with Michael Jordan. Talk about your relationship with Michael Jordan.
Good relationship. We've always, like I said, since college, it's doing the NBA. And here's another funny one. So my first game against the Bulls, I'm like, oh, this is my guy. I get to see my guy after, like all these years, I'm like, oh, this is my guy, Mike. Shake hands. Hey, I literally go set a pick for him. He punches me dead in my nut. And I'm like, wait a minute. I thought we were friends. Like, ain't no friends in this NBA game. And so it really, again, that was another moment for me because it's like, it doesn't matter what you are off the court. On the court is a different story.
Gotcha.
And I thought we were friends. And it was like, oh, snap, wake up call. And so, but it's always been that way. He's always like off the court, we hang out. We used to gamble against each other and party and all that stuff. I still remember like doing the last dance, 97, 98, we played then. And after the game, him holding my son, who's 23 years old now, he's holding and then kisses him on his forehead. So my son growing up, I would always say, Mike Jordan passed on his powers on to you. That was our little thing for him, because he kissed him on the forehead. And so he always remembers that and he cherishes that,
When you look at the NBA then and now, what are some of the biggest differences, the pluses and minuses of NBA in the 90s or NBA in the 2020 time?
Well, the relaxation of the hand checking rules, I think, made a big difference in the game. It opened it up, and that was more for the European players. And because the game had gotten out of hand. I always say, the 80s and 90s was more wrestling with a basketball, and so I think that the league needed to evolve, and it's done that. And so I don't mind it. I like watching today's NBA because even though it may not be the crazy physicality that it was in the 80s and 90s, but there's still some physical aspects to the game. But, guys, it's just a more open game right now. And The guys are able to, I'm not saying they're better shooters because they're not better shooters by any stretch of the imagination. It's just that it's more open and free flowing. And that's why a lot of people, and I don't play the if game, but literally, if those rules had been in place back then, Michael Jordan, I mean, he could have just done more damage, because as physical as it was, and for that man to still average 30, is astounding to me. Astounding.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Wow. It's astounding that he was able to average 30 points in that system, in that style of basketball. The man took a beating nightly. He took a beating. And guys are not able to do that anymore. I'm talking about some of the stuff that we were doing. I'm talking about these are like, felonies, man, today.
You still there, Oh?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Who do you think, they're asking in the comments, who's the greatest basketball player? Is it Michael Jordan? Is it Kareem? Is it Oscar Robinson? Who's your GOAT?
Well, I have a hard time answering that question for two reasons. One, there hasn't been an established criteria on what the GOAT consists of, because I feel that I need the criteria. And the second reason is because I have created that criteria, but I'm not ready to release it yet. And so it's hard for me to really answer that question at the moment because it's not finalized. And once it's finalized and I have it up and running, people will be able to, just put in the numbers and see exactly who the GOAT is. So I've been working on that since the lockdown. So over 2 months now, I've been working on this every day. I'm almost done with it.
Who has a tougher?
But again, my personal opinion right now, without my stat sheets and everything else, I got to go with Kareem AbdulJabbar.
Kareem AbdulJabbar.
Michael was great, and I don't take anything away from anybody else. Will Chamberlain, another one that could definitely get that. But Kareem, what he did for basketball and what he did while he played, it's amazing because they changed rules for this man. Because of him, they had to change the rules. And so to me, 6 championships, 6 MVPs, just what he's done, 38,000 points. I mean, this guy, the patented sky hook, no one's had a patented shot. So he's my personal one. But again, it comes down to your personal preference. That's why I was saying, who do you like? That's what the question should be. Who do you like?
It's funny because I have Kareem as the greatest basketball player of all time. From picking up a basketball in high school to NBA retirement, I have Kareem AbdulJabbar as the greatest player.
Yeah, that's a good choice. I mean, Michael was transcendent in how once he came about, he globalized the game.
Sure.
And that was a partnership between he and the NBA. They worked hand in hand. Kareem didn't have that luxury.
Gotcha.
Kareem just balled. So when Michael came along, because, Magic and Bird kind of like took us out that whole 70s madness, with the drugs and everything else, and kind of cleaned it up a little bit. And Michael took it to the next step to where we are now. It's a global game.
What is the game missing now in 2020? What would you add to the NBA game?
I never would have had all this replay stuff. I think you got to have the human factor in the human error.
Gotcha.
I would train the referees better, but I think, because those guys didn't have replay. It was what it was.
Gotcha.
And so to me, when you start changing and getting technology involved, then I think the game gets compromised a little.
So you like it where the humans just make the decisions and the game just keeps on going?
Of course. You made the call, that's it. Move on. I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Now we got to spend 10 minutes looking at a replay. Damn well it's out. Okay, how many people does it really? It's like a joke. How many referees does it take to make the right call? It's like ridiculous. It does not need to take that long. You look at it, you see the angle, boom, that's it. Case closed. It should be like 30 seconds. You know, I got to see it from 20 different angles. By the time you do all that, people are like, come on, man. Okay, what else?
How about the salaries now in comparison?
The only thing about the salary, I've always said this: get what you want, get what you can get. Gotcha. You know, like a painting is worth $100 million because somebody deems it valuable. So if you're able to get $100 million contract playing basketball, go for it. Gotcha. But I just feel that, you know, players back then had to actually earn their money and work hard for their money, whereas now just get money. And to me, it's not right. You know, but I don't mind it. You know, like I say, I have a son that's about to play. I just wanted to enjoy the riches as well. But I just feel that there has to be some kind of like, you know, going back and, you know, repaying it or paying it back rather, you know, to the people that made it possible for us. A guy like Oscar Robertson should be getting a check every year because he started the union. He's, you know, free agency, you know, a guy like in baseball, Kurt Flood. Those people should be getting checks because they made it possible for these $100 million contracts.
Yeah. I cover boxing, and that's a big hotbed question because there's no retirement in boxing. You know, they take all that punishment. They got all these physical ailments, no health insurance, no retirement. You know what I mean? And it's just awful that that what they propelled in the sport of boxing. You talk about the sport of basketball. Don't take care of them when they no longer can take care of the sport of their particular sport.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, you know, it's not about handing out. It's about, you know, doing right. And so to me, if somebody made it possible for me to get somewhere, I have to do something for them.
Gotcha.
It's about mine. But again, you know, people are going to do what they want to do.
Talk about the business of the NBA, if you don't mind. Break that down. Agent, player hires agent, agent talks to team. Is there any way, like, can a player like represent himself? You know,
you're trying to get all the secrets, huh?
No,
a player can represent himself. When the NBA came with the structured format for the draft, everybody was slotted, meaning if you're the number one pick, this is what you get for 4 or 5 years. Number 2, and so on. So, like when I came in at number 8, you know, for a perfect example, I made I signed a 5-year contract for $2.5 million. Now, people, you know, that work regular jobs like, oh my God, $2.5 million. That's amazing. I guess that it was amazing. That's a shitload of money. I never thought I'd make that kind of money. But the 8th pick last year for 5 years got, what was it, 30 million? So that's a big difference to just get slotted in. You haven't played a game in the NBA yet, and boom, that's where you're at. And so it's stuff like that. So no players don't need agents because you come in slotted. The agents come in for like maybe your, you know, for other stuff, you know, off the court, if you want to do marketing and all that, because technically a guy can come in and just represent himself and just make and keep all his money. Because if you're playing well, your contract basically goes up on its own. You know, the team picks up the option and it has to jump a certain amount. Oh, and then if you're really good, you get maxed out and you keep getting maxed out. So what do you need an agent for? Because it's an automatic thing.
Wow.
So that's what I want these young guys to understand. You technically don't need an agent. And worst case scenario, not even the worst case scenario. You can always go to the Players Association and have them represent you.
Really?
Yeah, guys don't know that.
Wow. So you have your own legal shield through the Players Union?
Players Association.
Players
exactly.
Association?
They can look over the contract and tell you whatever because it's got to go to them anyway.
Wow. That wouldn't be a conflict of interest?
Contract.
I know technically it's not a conflict of interest, but you know, you got some people playing both sides.
No, not with that, because the Players Association is just for the players.
Wow.
They have no vested interest. They don't get a percentage and none of that stuff. They look over your contract. Okay, this is not right. This is right. This is not right. Get this changed. They can do that for you. That's what Gilbert Arenas did. He represented himself when he got those contracts, and he used the Players Association to look over the deal.
Is that part of the reason he was ostracized?
No.
Okay, no.
Oh, no. There was a whole situation.
I know. I remember that. But
yeah. No, they want you to be a smart businessman. That's one thing I learned from David Stern, rest in peace, our former commissioner. He wanted to empower the players. He wanted them empowered. And it used to frustrate him when more of our top guys didn't take part in the union and stuff like that, and didn't partake in the collective bargaining. It used to piss them off because it's like, you guys you're not showing me that you care about this. And he was right. Guys want to be partying and all that stuff instead of taking care of this stuff. That's why I always say the baseball union is the strongest union of any sports league. And so, now we're starting to get it. You have Chris Paul involved, you have LeBron involved, so now it's gotten better. These guys now are taking an active role.
Gotcha. What do you think of Maverick Carter and LeBron trying to create this conglomerate for power?
I love it. Why not? Hey, I'll tell you this, and I learned this a long time ago from a old smart individual, because I asked a question about, Don King, going back to boxing.
Sure.
People were criticizing Don King, and he said to me, plain and simple, and it was an older gentleman, for every Don King, there's 10 to 15 white guys doing way worse than Don King ever did. And he said it like that, and I was like, wow. And so for every, one of these agents, we have a Maverick Carter and a LeBron James or a Rich Paul. But that's been long overdue. And what I love about these guys is that they're circle. LeBron kept his, friends really close. He didn't give them handouts. He gave them opportunity. And then those guys saw the opportunity and seized it and made it into something. And they all, empowered themselves. Gotcha. I love that stuff, man. I wish more of us would do that.
What's the fear that LeBron James and Maverick Carter gets the players, and they represent the more influential players, whether it be on the macro level or on a micro
level? There is
no
fear. I mean, the only fear is the fact that it's like they what's the word the young people use? They woke. These guys are woke.
Gotcha.
So they doing it. They LeBron James was really like the first guy that kind of like empowered himself and said, I'm taking control of my life and my career. And there's nothing you can do about it. And then they tried to ostracize him and everything else when he did the decision. The only thing I didn't agree with about the decision was the whole televised thing. But again, that was part of his game plan, showing how large he was. But I loved every other aspect of it because he played out his contract. He has every right to go and do what the hell he wants to do. If he wants to wipe his butt with the contract, he can do it. And so to me, it was wrong for people to try to be critical of him, because when he did nothing wrong.
Gotcha.
Other than they saw a black man empowering himself, and it happened right in front of their eyes. And now Durant, Steph Curry, all these guys are empowered. It's a beautiful thing.
So that basically puts the NBA agent at a deficit. You understand what I'm saying? Like
definitely, because they know how to talk to them. See, you got to remember, they can walk into the rooms of any of these young men and speak their language. If you know what I mean?
Yeah, gotcha.
And these guys can't. So that's the fear, because it's always been a white control business.
Gotcha.
And now you've got these young, smart, good-looking brothers that are like, they can talk the talk, they got the financial backing, and they got those smart. Man, please, that's fear factor right there.
Gotcha.
That's fear factor.
Yeah, no longer the runners. That's
why they tried to pass that rule saying that He needed Rich Paul needed a degree to be an agent. Everybody was like, "You lost your mind. You lost your mind, man."
I remember that.
No.
I remember that. And that's
No.
fairly recent.
That's
too.
his business. Bill Gates doesn't have a degree,
Sure. Yeah.
but he's giving medical advice.
Oh man, we gonna get there. We gonna get there. Have you do you have a relationship with LeBron James?
No.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we used to be, like cordial. That's about it. I see him. Hey, what's up? What's up? That's it. I don't have, I worked this camp a couple years ago, but it's not a good or bad thing. It's just, hey, you live your life, I'm living mine.
What's the greatest city you played in?
The greatest city?
Not the greatest, but the most fun, at the time in your life.
Oh, the one I grew up with. I grew up in New York.
New York? Really?
Yes, but when they put the Miami Heat, the Heat in Miami, that became my real favorite. My goodness. You can always tell. You can always tell.
Uh-huh.
Like I tell people all the time, watch the first 5 minutes of any game in Miami. Every player that went out will show you exactly that they went out. It's not the same. It's not the same person in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Gotcha.
It's like, oh, he's got club legs.
What was some of the hot spots traveling the NBA in terms of where like the NBA players, where it got around like, hey, when you go to this city, you got to go here. When you go to this city, you have to go here.
Well, all of them had hot spots. But here's what's so funny. One of the cities that no one gives credit to, especially when I was coming up, and it was, my goodness, Sacramento. They don't get credit. Back then, I don't know how it is now because I haven't partied in Sacramento, but Sacramento was up there. There was just something about Sacramento. It was magical.
You spent 4 or 5 years there, right?
You don't even think like Sacramento. Yeah, but yeah, that was definitely. But of course, your regulars. Miami, you gotta go to the clubs at South Beach. New York has the hot spots, and so San Francisco, when we played down there, we played the Warriors. They, that's the meat market area, the beat district. What is it? The beat packages.
Yeah, the beat packages. Yeah.
So all that, yeah. So it's everywhere, man. You're traveling enough. You gotta see enough stuff.
When did the lights cut on for you as an NBA player? Meaning, like, now my game is ready, my mind is right. I understand money. I understand how to travel. I'm a man now. When did the light cut on for you? When you put it all together?
My fourth year. Well, between my third and fourth year, because I got traded to the Clippers in between those years. Right around the trade, that's when I got traded to the Clippers. It was like the defining moment. It's like, okay, I'm about to be a regular starter. The team sucks, but I'm going to get to play, and hopefully I can help change a franchise. When I came into Seattle, it was already established. We had established players. They had, like I said, they had just made the Western Conference Finals, so they were already there. So now I was going to be given an opportunity to really shine, and then my contract was coming up, so all that stuff. But I was learning, like I said, every single year. I basically did it like that. Okay, my basketball career was born, in 1980. And so every single year, it's like, okay, I'm 7 years old now. I'm 10 years old. I'm,
Gotcha.
That's basically how I looked at it. I'm growing up.
So you were in LA for the riots and the Rodney King beating.
I was there.
Talk about that. Talk about that. I mean, you're definitely a celebrity here in LA. You see it on TV, as we all did. Take us through those moments for you.
Well, it was really surreal because we were in the playoffs playing against, the Utah Jazz. And so we had played the games in Salt Lake City, the first 2 games. And all of a sudden they're telling us, we're going to be moving to Anaheim. But let me go back a little bit, because when the whole actual verdict came out, you know, being around people, I knew some people that knew Rodney King, and I knew the whole situation. You know, being in LA, one of my attorneys was friends with, you know, all kinds of stuff. So it's like there were so many different dots being connected. And so they're like, yo, they're going to find these guys not guilty, and this city's going to burn. I remember someone saying this, and that's pretty much what happened. So it was like, now we were all like, oh, snap, what do we do? It's like the team called us when the riot started, do not come down here. We'll give you details on what we're going to do moving forward. So when it was finally time to come out, you know, but watching the city burn on television, it was crazy. And so I remember still my friend Joe Torre, the comedian.
Yeah, Joe Torre.
You know, I remember him calling me one day saying, hey, man, you know, we need to go do something. I'm like, hey, I'm down. What do you want to do? So we should go and, you know, help clean up. And that's what we did. I jumped in my car, went, met up with him. We went and, you know, did a bunch of cleanup in the neighborhood, you know, specifically where the Magic Theater was.
Yeah,
and so we did all that, cleaned up, and then when it was time to play, I still vividly remember this, because I had to go to the sports arena to get my stuff. But they said we had to clear out our lockers, so we're not going to be coming back to the sports arena. And seeing all the military, the tanks, and all these guys in the army, I was like, what the hell? We're in another country. It was, like I said, it was surreal. Everything was playing out like it was a movie, but it's like, okay, it is real. You know, this stuff is really happening.
Now, now fast forward to Donald Sterling. Talk about your relationship with Donald Sterling, or can you talk about that?
My relationship with him was always cool. I didn't have a problem with him. The only time I had a problem is when my teammates set me up when I first got there. Okay. And so I didn't know, you know, I knew who he was from playing against the Clippers. You know, I heard the stories about the Clippers owner and everything else, you know, very wealthy guy, but a little cuckoo. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So after the game, after my first game, I'm sitting in the locker room, but I'm like, holy shit, I'm the only one sitting here. Everybody else, like, I'm thinking, oh, they all jumped in the shower. I'm again, this is my first game with the team. So I don't know their tendencies and all that stuff. I don't know who showers, what time, you know, if they go ice, if they get treatment. I don't know what's going on. So I normally just sit in my locker and, you know, think about the game and everything else. So I'm sitting there, nobody's around. And all of a sudden, Sterling and two of his friends walk in. And he walks over to me. I shake his hand, like, you know, how you doing, Mr. Sterling? He's like, welcome to the team. You know, great game. Da, da, da. I said, thank you, sir. And then all of a sudden he goes, wow. He put his hands on my shoulder, right? He goes, look at this strong buck right here, man. He's really, I was like, excuse me? What did you just say? Buck. Oh, man, I lost it. And then he's just standing over me, rubbing on my shoulder. And I'm like, okay, this is getting a little bit, a little uncomfortable. And so I'm like, but I'm trying to be cool about it, because this is the owner of the team. And so I kind of like sense people laughing, and I look over around the corner where the showers were, and all those guys standing there laughing their butts off. Because they had set me up. They knew he was going to come in there and do that, because that's his thing, like touching people and rubbing on them and all. But when he made that statement about the buck, oh, I was done. You know, I gave him, you know, the fact that this is his team kind of thing, but I never saw it that way. You know, I never saw him like that again. But again, the rest of the time, you know, he was, you know, very nice. He was never offensive to me outside of that one moment.
How about the owner Crosstown? Did you ever have any conversations or interactions with the owner Crosstown?
Jerry Buss?
Yeah, Jerry Buss.
Oh my God, that's like my dad, man.
Talk about
that's
that's
a whole different man. I love that man.
Really?
Oh, I love that man. And listen, and I am not ashamed to say I love that man. Like I love him. You know, rest in peace, Dr. Buss. I never played for the Lakers, which a travesty. I should have been a Laker. You know, that's my favorite team growing up. It was not the Knicks. It was the Lakers.
Wow.
And so I would always see him after the games, the Forum Club and all that stuff. And he was always so nice to me. He's like, oh, you got us today. You know, oh, you know, if they beat us, he'd always be like remorseful about it. Oh, you know, you probably get us next time. That kind of thing. He was just a genuinely nice guy. And so, and here's where everything changes. It's like, once I retired, you know, we always had the relationship, but once I retired, it's like whenever I saw him, it's like if I saw him at the casino, you know, like, pull up a chair and we'll sit there and talk. We talk about everything. And he just treated me like I was part of his family. Mm-hmm. And now I'm going to share this, and I've never shared this with anybody before. Mm-hmm. So we were out one night in Beverly Hills. Mm-hmm. You know, Dr. Buss, you know, he hangs out. And his son got into something in Hollywood where some guy snuck him and knocked him out, basically. Mm-hmm. So we get the phone call, and he's like stressing out and all that. So I'm like, he told me what happened. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm coming with you. You know, whatever I can do, I'm here. So we get in the limo, and we're going up to Hollywood. And the whole time, his son is laying on concrete somewhere. And he's like, are you okay? He's worrying about me in that moment. I was like, whoa, that is deep. Mm. And so to me, when he did that, I kid you not, my love for him grew exponentially because he didn't have to be that way with me. Mm-hmm. You know, he could have been like, hey, I got to go take care of my son. Okay, I'll talk to you whenever. Bye-bye. And I would have been okay with that. Mm-hmm. But he wanted to make sure I was okay. So when we got to the club, I'm playing the inspector. I'm trying to figure out who did it. Uh-huh. I'm calling everybody that I know. Uh-huh. And I'm getting to the bottom of this thing, which we ended up finding out who it was, but nothing ever came of it because we let the law, you know, do its thing. Uh-huh. But that was my man. I loved him, man. Wow. He would always invite me to games. You know, you're welcome anytime. Even till today. I talked to his daughter. I talked to Jeannie. The Laker family, they still embrace me. You know, they invite me to games, give me carte blanche. I'm like, and I never played for them. It was just because of the relationship I had with him.
Gotcha. Was it ever any? Did it get close? Was there any options, trade options? Did you veto? Could you have vetoed a trade?
Yeah. Oh my goodness, Fred. Let me tell you, this is the one. It hurt me in a way, and I had an agent. His name is Dwight Manley. He's the same agent that represented Dennis Rodman. So if you're watching Last Dance, they mention him. Uh-huh. So Dwight Manley represented myself, Dennis Rodman, Brian Russell, Donyell Marshall, and Karl Malone. Uh-huh. 4 of the 5 starters on the Utah Jazz were represented by Dwight Manley. Uh-huh. You know, so we're all boys. So my contract was up in 2001, but I had an option year. It's my option. All I gotta do is go to sleep, wake up. My option is picked up by the Jazz. You know, because it was my player option. It's up to me. All I gotta do is go to sleep, wake up, basically trade me. Uh-huh. You know, guaranteed money. Uh-huh. So I get a phone call that Dwight Man, you know, he's like, hey, I spoke with the Lakers and I think they want to sign you. I was like, what? Oh, hell. I'm opting out of my contract.
Oh, but you couldn't do it.
So we called the Jazz. I'm going to opt out. I'm going to be a free agent. Come to find out, he never spoke with the damn Lakers. Oh. So I ended up talking to Mitch Kupchak, who was the general manager at the time. I never spoke with Dwight. And I was like, so now here I am. I'm basically out the league because nobody picked me up, you know. So I left, you know, close to $3 million on the table. Shit. Based on what he told me because he knew my love for the Lakers. Uh-huh. You know, if he put that in my ear, I would have been like, oh, hell yeah.
Uh-huh.
You know? And so I couldn't do it while I was under contract. So I had to get out of the contract. And the funniest thing about it is this, is that I called him and called him. He would not answer my phone. My own agent would not answer the phone call. Wow. He just basically disappeared on me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and all because they needed me out of my contract to re-sign Karl Malone to a bigger deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I got sold out for his number one client, which is Karl.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, you know, again, that's the business. So, you know, that's why I tell all these young guys now, man, you better off just doing your own stuff, man.
What was the conversation like, or the closure in that?
What's that?
What was the closure in that with your agent?
There was no closure. I mean, I kept calling him. He would never answer the phone. So one day I kept calling the office. So one day, and this is how beautiful God is, you know, he accidentally hit because I was literally blowing up his phone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I dial, ring 4 or 5 times, hang up, dial again. Mm-hmm. I just kept doing that. So one day it automatically answered, you know, so he butt picked up.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I call it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm listening to the conversation, right? Because the secretary told me he was at the doctor's. Mm-hmm. And I hear, next on number 1 T, da-da-da-da. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can laugh about it now. Mm-hmm. He's on the golf course.
Golf course, yeah.
And I could hear him say, you want something to drink with this? You know, he's talking to whoever he's with. Mm-hmm. And I'm listening to the whole conversation, right? Mm. And then I finally get him on the phone. I said, hey, Dwight, what'd you shoot? He's like, huh? I said, what'd you shoot? I mean, I heard your whole conversation. I wasn't even going to give him a chance to lie to me. Mm-hmm. You know? I just said, yeah, I heard your conversation. You were on the golf course. You know, I heard them say, you know, next on number 1 T, and then you ask somebody, you know, what they want to drink. Mm-hmm. And he's like, hey, man, I'm sorry about that. I was like, I don't even want to hear it. I hung up the phone.
And what year was this?
This was 2001.
Oh, gosh, damn.
Yeah, so I was out the league for 2 years. You know, I couldn't get a contract, and then finally I signed with the Clippers in 2003.
And what did you learn from the? How would you sum up like the learning experience in the NBA and carrying it into your post basketball career?
Don't trust nobody.
Oh man. Hey, what was the dumbest purchase?
Nobody.
What was it? You want to take calls, by the way? You want to take calls from the fans?
If somebody has a question,
yeah, okay.
I'm an open book.
I'll open it up. I'll open up the call. So if you guys want to call in while we're having this conversation, you guys are more than welcome to. I'll even put the beam in. Let me put the beam in, and you guys can beam in. So what was the dumbest purchase you ever had? Oh, they're not playing. Oh, I got to wait, DB. I got to put you on a new one. Okay, let me put him on a new one. Okay, see if I can do this. Okay, DB, you can call in now. Yeah. Yeah, or beam in. Feel free to beam in. Hopefully I can take these calls at the same time because I got you on the program.
I don't know what none of this stuff means.
Yeah, I because I had to put you on the program. You know what I mean? Instead of you going on the StreamYard program, I put you on the phone line. So I'm hopefully I can take these calls at the same time. You know what I mean? That'll be cool. You know what I mean? Yeah, that'll be. So what was the dumbest purchase you ever? Yeah. Looking back.
The dumbest purchase? I try not to make dumb purchases.
Okay.
My first car was a used Jeep Cherokee.
Uh-huh.
You know, I grew up in Haiti, man. I grew up in Harlem. I grew up on welfare, so I knew the value of money. So I tried not to do too much. Gotcha. Even though I play poker and all that stuff, I still try to like value it to the point where, you know, I only spend what I can afford to lose, and then that's it.
We got our first call tonight. What's popping? 323.
What's going on, Fredro? What's up, OP? How you feeling, man?
I'm good, and yourself?
Oh, man, I feel like $1,000,000, man. I just got a couple of quick questions for you, man, and I'm going to run through them as fast as I can. The first thing is, being a Laker fan growing up, we had the greatest announcer in all of sports history in Chick Hearns. What do you remember the most about Chick Hearns?
Oh, my God, just the nicest man. He used to always tell me how much, he didn't like when I played against him because I always gave the Lakers a tough time. But he was just a genuine soul and just a fun guy to be around. He was very positive. Even when we won a game, he was positive about it. When we lost, as an opponent, he was uplifting. And so I just love that about him. That's how their whole organization is, man.
Yeah, I do feel like the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, over time, obviously, there's been some bumps and bruises with John and Jimmy and other bus boys, but overall, I think the Lakers have a really good, successful organization.
Definitely.
Another thing. So I know you had, as I looked through your stats, I know you had several years where you played all 82 games or nearly all 82 games. What would you say would be the key to your success in terms of like your health and wellness and being able to get out on the court all of those games?
Well, number one is I never wanted to sit. And so I made sure I took care of my body. I did yoga, I did stretching. And when Pilates came along, I started doing Pilates. So it's just taking care of your body. And, I'm one of the few athletes that's never had a major injury. And so I take pride in stuff like that. And I used to tell people, I want to do the hurt. I don't want to be hurt.
Yeah, I'm plant-based. I've been a vegan for several years now, and I actually got introduced to the vegan lifestyle by the Spider. John Sally was actually the one that introduced me to it. Is there any certain diet that you had that you followed when you were still in the league and also now?
Oh, no. Seafood diet. I eat. I ate everything. It's kind of like Michael. Michael used to eat McDonald's before a game. It's like I just eat, it didn't matter to me. I just feel like if you eat and exercise, that's your balance. So I never looked at it like I got to eat a certain kind of thing. But I would eat pasta the night before because I needed some of the energy for the next day. But other than that, it wasn't really anything that I said, okay, I'm going to eat this way or that way. I pretty much ate anything and everything.
Right on. Another question I got for you. Who was your favorite teammate to play with? I mean, other than the big superstars like Mike?
Well, John Stockton is one of my favorite teams, and I played with Dennis Rodman, Isaiah, I really love John Stockton. He really was a true professional in every sense of the word, and I just really like being around him,
Yeah, you don't have to do much but move your legs and the man to get you the ball.
Catch it and put it in.
That's right. Don't miss the layup, and he'll keep giving it to you. So who do you think is the most underrated player of your era?
The most underrated player of my era? Man, there's a lot of those. Dale Ellis, who I played with, I don't think he got the credit he deserved.
Absolutely.
Eddie Johnson, another great shooter, great player. You don't hear a lot about. We tend to focus on the top guys, but there were so many other great players that made the league run and made it possible. They pushed Michael Jordan. And people don't give those guys credit because that's what made Michael so great. He was being pushed by all these guys.
Yeah. Even the small guys like Sadell Three, they would play really good defense. Bernard King, Alex English.
It's tough. Alex English. You don't hear nothing about Kiki Vandeweghe. Kiki Vandeweghe got a move. He's another guy that's got the Kiki. If you have a move named after you got to be good.
That's right. Yeah. And before I let you go, I'm going to ask you this one thing. I know you are Haitian descent, and we're typically a boxing YouTube channel here. Who's your favorite boxer and who's your favorite Haitian boxer?
My favorite boxer, come on, it's got to be Muhammad Ali, followed by Mike Tyson in that order. And my favorite Haitian boxer, Andre, maybe. Okay, it's either Andre Berto or ATN. Those are my guys.
Right on. Hey, OP, man, I really appreciate it, man. Appreciate you giving us the time today. And unfortunately, you didn't get a chance to play for the Lakers, man, but we still love you here in LA.
Oh, thank you, man. I love y'all back.
Yeah, you got a lot of love out here, man. When I said you was gonna be on the show, man, my damn DM lit up. I told you like 20 people hit me, dog. Got another caller calling in for you. What's up?
Yo, what's up with it? How you doing, Fred?
You on mute?
No, I'm good.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good, right? You hear me, don't it? You can hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. You're good. You hear him, OP?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, yeah, he hears you.
Yo, what's up, Olden Polynice, NBA legend? What's going on, big bro?
I'm good, my brother. How are you?
I'm good. You know, I'm originally from LA, so I remember when you was on the Lakers. You did play for the Lakers for some period, and you was definitely a part of that legendary fight between Kobe and Shaq. Man, you want to get into it? How you broke it up? I know you are the one to break up the fight. You want to go into detail between the fight of Kobe Bryant and Shaq in practice, the legendary fight.
Well, I did break it up, and I will go into details, but I wasn't actually on the team. I was working out with the team at that time in the hopes of signing a contract with the Lakers, which never happened. And so it was, Shaq and Kobe going at it, to see who was the big alpha man at the time. And they got into this, little squabble. And so we all thought they were just, it's going to be just words. And then all of a sudden I see, Kobe basically like square up and throw a punch. And now Shaq's ready to reel on him. And that's when I jumped up and grabbed Shaq, and he basically punched me instead. And so I grabbed for dear life, and I'm holding on. He's trying to tear Kobe up. And I'm looking around, hey, I need some help right now. Because while I was holding him, it's like I'm still seeing that Kobe's trying to like get some more punches in. I'm like, okay, now I got to make a decision. I either got to let this big fella go, or somebody better come and get Kobe. And then finally, somebody did come and get him, and we pulled them away from each other. But it was the whole time. I still remember, it was like, F you, it's my team. This is my team. No, it's my team. So I was like, oh Lord, it's both your teams.
Damn. Hey, Fred, you got anything to say about the scuffle between Kobe and Shaq?
No, I actually want to hear Olden talk. Man, y'all can hear me talk tomorrow. I want to hear this story. Olden was there.
Well, that was it. But it was like, the funny part about it is, these guys, and I tell people, if they don't break that team up, I don't think anybody messes with them for a while. So it's kind of unfortunate that they didn't get a chance to really ride this wave that they were on.
For sure. Like people always kind of point the finger towards Kobe, but me being honest, I know Shaq had a history of, of that. Like, this is my team. This not your team. Even it happened with Penny, though. It happened in Orlando with Penny when Shaq and Penny was battling over who team it was. And Shaq always had that issue. You know what I mean? So when Shaq went to Miami, his first press conference, he told the media that this is Dwayne Wade's team. And, he just always had that, like, I don't know if he was selfish, if he was jealous of some of his teammates. But Shaq, he always had some problems with his teammates, to be honest with you. Any thoughts on that?
Well, you got to remember, to be a great athlete, there has to be some sense of selfishness. And that's all of us. You got to have that, and you got to have an ego, because that's how you get better, because you're pushing yourself. So him doing that is all part of it. We all have a sense that, I'm a big part of this team and all that. So I don't have a problem with him doing that. And I think that's why he did what he did when he got to Miami, putting it out there right away. This is Dwayne Wade's team, because he didn't want that carryover from the whole Lakers situation, which was his growth. He realized that he can't continue doing that. And so to me, that I have more respect for him at that point. Now, if he had gone to Miami and he had it with Dwayne Wade as well, then you could say, yeah, it was all about him. But, at some point in time, we make mistakes when we're young, and then we hope to get better as we get older.
For sure. So, I'm gonna leave that part alone. I'm gonna leave Shaq alone right now. But okay, now I want to talk to you about your basketball career. I'm a big fan of yours. I remember you with the Bulls. I also remember you playing with the Supersonics with Xavier McDaniels, Sean Kemp, Gary Payton, and those guys. Also, I remember you on the Utah Jazz with Karl Malone, John Stockton. Then you played with Sacramento with the great player Mitch Richmond. Mitch Richmond, who I felt like was one of the most underrated players in NBA history. Yeah, he was a hell of a player, Mitch Richmond. You know what I mean? So I want to start off with Chicago, where you started off at. I want to ask you about Charles Oakley. I want to start. Charles Oakley was probably the most, he was probably the biggest goon in NBA history. And he, was Charles Oakley the real deal, like we seen on TV?
Charles Oakley was a real deal. I never played with Charles. I played against him. But I know one thing, and I can say this without any hesitation. He had a level of respect for me because he knew I was one of the few people in the league that he couldn't pump. And so that's why, we're friends and everything else, because I don't consider myself a goon, but I will stand up for myself. And that's how you got to be. I mean, Charles Oakley just embraced being, that physical type player. He looked out for his teammates. But if you did him wrong, he was going to let you know about it, physically. And so, every team needs somebody like a Charles Oakley, but off the court, he had his moments where, like guys owed him money, and he walked up, the famous one, with Jeff McGinnis and some other, Tyrone Hill. He basically just bitch slapped them, give me my money. And I'm like, ain't no man ever slapped me. So I know that for a fact. But yeah, but he's a tough, hard-nosed player. Like I said, every team needs somebody like that.
So would you say he was the toughest player of your era?
No, not even close. I mean, we had tough. I mean, I played against Maurice Lucas, Buck Williams. These guys were grown men. Well, like they coming at you. So no, he's not even close to being the toughest one I've ever played against.
Okay, for sure. Okay, now I want to talk about the Seattle Supersonics. Could you tell us a little bit about Sean Kemp, how good he was, and was he? Okay.
He was amazing. Sean Kemp was, 6'10", high flying. I remember when we got him as a rookie, it's so funny because we used to have alcohol in the locker rooms. The refrigerator used to have cases of beer, and the trainers would have, liquor or whatever. And guys would, take a sip after games. And we had to get rid of everything once Sean Kemp came, because the league passed a rule we can't have alcohol anymore in our locker room, and they made it league-wide. So no matter what locker room we went to, we were used to having a beer after a game. There was none of that anymore because of Sean Kemp, because he was underage. But this kid was incredible. I wish he had stayed healthy, and I wish he had kept himself in shape, because he would have went down as one of our greatest players ever.
For sure, he was, man. He could shoot the jump shot. He was fast. I don't think I ever seen a power forward like that fast before, running up and down the court on a fast break. He was a hell of a player. How would you compare Sean Kemp to like Karl Malone? If Sean Kemp would have stayed, like you said, in shape, do you think he was going to be better than Karl Malone?
He was more athletic than Karl Malone. I think he could have been along the lines of a Karl Malone. He would have been a Hall of Famer. And again, it's, guys sometimes lose their way. And, we are athletes, and your vehicle is your body. If you don't take care of that, what's the point? And he just didn't do a good enough job of doing that, taking care of his body. And that's where it went. Because I look at Sean Kemp like, we see LeBron now. He was like a bigger LeBron. It's like he was LeBron without the passing skills, I would say. But everything else he had, he jumped high, he rebounded. He did everything else. He just wasn't as great a passer as LeBron is.
For sure. And, I got two more questions. How good was Mitch Richmond? Do you consider Mitch Richmond top 50 player of all time, possibly?
Top 50. You know, if I'm being honest, no, but he's definitely one of the top 100. I mean, Mitch is a great scorer, you know, great defender. And so can't take anything. And he's a Hall of Famer. So, you know, he's definitely got to be in the top 100.
Yeah, he was really good, man. He could
I
shoot.
don't like this whole top 75 like ESPN did. That's so whack. Some of the people should not even be on that list. So, I mean, Mitch Richmond has a case for that one over some of the people that they put ahead of him. That's for damn sure.
Hell yeah, he could shoot it, man. He was strong as hell. Even Michael Jordan spoke highly of Mitch Richmond. You know what I mean? And yeah, you know, one more question. Who would you say is your greatest small forward of all time? Between Larry Bird, you got LeBron James, Dr. J, Dominique Wilkins. Who would you rank? You know, how would you rank those guys?
I got to put Bird somewhere on the list as one of my top all time. He's incredible, man. People don't realize how great this man was. And he was the #1 trash talker in basketball.
Really?
He would tell you what he was going to do, and he would do it. I've never seen anybody like that. Never.
Wow.
He's definitely in my top.
You got 1 year with him?
5.
You got how many years you get with him in the league? 1, 2?
Who, Bird?
Yeah.
Shoot, 87 till he retired. 6?
Oh, 6. Oh, he's
7?
90s. Okay, 9. Okay.
Oh yeah, I caught a whole bunch of Larry Bird and a whole bunch of L's.
Wow.
So
a lot of L's against the Celtics.
So you got Bird maybe #1. Bird is not your best small forward.
I got him. I do have him as my #1 small forward. Like on my top 5, I always have Larry Bird as my small forward.
For sure. He could shoot that thing. He could pass it, rebound it. I think he averaged a double-double for his career. So he was a hell of a player. You know what I mean? And before I dip off, I just want to let you know, man, Luka Doncic is my favorite player right now in the NBA for the Dallas Mavericks. I love watching that kid play. He just turned 21 years old. He's averaging 29 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists a game. If you pay attention to the Dallas Mavericks, man, we got a great team, and Luka is the leader.
I know. Shoot, listen, I said in my mock draft and all my interviews, if these idiots had been smart, they would have picked Luka Doncic #1. Period. I felt he should have been the #1 pick in the draft.
He's a hell of a player, man. I think he's an MVP candidate already. And shout outs to my boy Ja Morant down here in Memphis doing his thing, man. High flyer. They call him the next Kobe. So pay attention to my boy Ja Morant out here. He's making noise in the city. And shout outs to you, man. Olden Polynice, NBA legend, man. Man, y'all call in. You know what I'm saying? Talk to the legend right here, man. Let's go. Appreciate it, Fred, man. Appreciate you having me talk to the legend, Olden Polynice. I look up to these basketball players and these boxers, man. Appreciate it, Fred. Thank you.
All the time.
All right,
Appreciate it. All right, we got 203. 203, what's up? 203? 203?
Hello?
Hey, 203. Go ahead. Oh, he hung up. Yeah, so Bird over LeBron, huh? OP hung up. He'll call right back in. Wow, OP. Hey, I got you. So you got Bird over LeBron, huh?
I have Bird over LeBron, yeah.
Woo-wee. Oh God. You know what I mean? Yeah.
What's wrong with that? Hey, man, once again, it's Olden's preference.
Oh, I know. Yeah, you know what I remember.
No disrespect to LeBron, but this is my preference. I'm going with the guy that I know I can count on that's going to go get buckets and is going to rip people's hearts out. See, people got to understand there's certain levels to this. Okay? I respect LeBron's game, but I don't think he has the mental makeup like some of these other guys, like a Larry Bird. Okay, like when it's clutch time. No, I'm going with Bird.
Wow, I definitely can see that. I like the story of when Kevin McHale broke the team record, and then Bird came back 8 days later and broke the record. I like that story.
Yeah, it's like He did it. I'm going to do it better.
Right.
I love Bird. I mean, Bird's, man, please listen. When I was telling that story, like I was saying, he told us literally, looked over at our bench and said, I'm going to take 2 dribbles left. I'm going to cross over, pull up jumper before he did it.
What team were you on?
I was in Seattle. And he literally said 2 dribbles left. He crossed it over, pull up jump shot. I'm like, man, I'm so done with you.
Isn't that annoying when a guy has a release point like that and he makes the
shot?
Man,
listen, we had one of the best defenders on him. One of our best defenders, Derek McKee. Long arms. And the only thing I could think of is that it was like the okie doke. Like he's just saying that he ain't really going to do it. But he actually did it.
Now you didn't, how did, just to close that, how did, when you broke up the fight, how did it end?
Man, the game was over. That's it. Everybody went home. Mitch Kupchak was there with the other, some of the other higher ups. And he talked to them and all that, but I wasn't privy to any of that. And I basically, I got dressed and stuff. So I was I'm like, we're good. See y'all tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah. Now I'll be remiss if I didn't ask you about the past. First of all, did you have a relationship with Kobe?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. Take your time with it.
Yeah,
take your time with it, and we'll get to January.
That one's Ooh, shit, that one's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Oh man, I've known that boy since he was 7 years old, man.
Really?
And so known the dad. I played against him in Europe, and I remember him shacking balls when they were in Italy. And when he came into the league. One of my vivid memories is, him trying to get into one of the parties during All-Star weekend, and he's standing outside, and other NBA players just walking in. They're not really familiar with Kobe at that time. He's a rookie, and they just walking by him, and I walk up, hey, what's up? We talk. Say, you going in? He's like, they not let me in. I'm like, you with me? And we walked in. And he had the bed. He's standing there like a little, that's my guy. He's just standing there having a good time. He's still young, trying to enjoy it. And I made sure he had a good time. And, something like that, I never forget. And I just loved it. And we've always maintained a friendship. And whenever he would see me, no matter what he was doing, he would always like, hold on one second. I got to go say what's up to my man. And I used to love him for that. It didn't matter where we were, what was going on. And I mean, I miss this kid so much. I saw him 2 weeks before that happened. We were at the Laker game, me and my son talking to him, and he looking at my son like, man, you gotten big. Stuff like that. I still remember how the love he showed my daughter the first time. She was screaming, ah! He just made her feel so comfortable. Stuff like that, man. I'm never going to forget. I have those memories, but, this thing, it still hurts,
Yeah, it's amazing that some people didn't recognize his greatness. They use adjectives like selfish, all he cares about himself.
But you heard me say that earlier. Every great player has to be selfish. You have to be. In anything that you do, you have to be that great. Now, what I loved about him more than anything else is that, one, he didn't let that get to him. And two, you saw his growth. And no one talks about that. The growth as a man. Forget basketball. As a man, as a person. You saw him. The man, he grew up in front of our eyes. 20 years in LA, his life played out in Los Angeles, right in front of our eyes. And so you saw his growth. And then he retires from basketball. And what does he do the next year? He wins an Oscar. Who does that? Oh man, that's a true tragedy. I'm sorry. People can say whatever they want, but that was a real tragedy.
Mm. What do you think he'll be most remembered for? The 5 rings, being the Black Mamba,
all of that.
all
The
of that.
most, the most feared outside of Michael Jordan, probably the most feared scorer, defender we had in the league. He played the same. What I would like for people to remember is that it's like he saw a great player in Michael Jordan. He said, "You know what? This is greatness to me. I'm going to take it a notch up. Okay, I'm going to take it a step further." And he did. He became a great shooter. I think, to me, he and Mike were pretty much even as far as shooting. But it's like he saw that he didn't. His work ethic is no one was ever going to be able to work like that. And I said this to someone recently. I said, "Can you imagine if Michael had Kobe's work ethic?"
Oh, you think he outworked? Oh, you think Kobe outworked Mike?
Oh, definitely. Kobe was relentless. To the point of, it was ridiculous. Oh no, Kobe lived in a gym. It was like almost to a fault. Mike partied and all that, smoked the cigars, he drinks and all that. Kobe wasn't doing all that. He kept his body. He got up 5 o'clock in the morning to work out. Mike ain't doing that. And please, 5 o'clock in the morning, Mike's still at a casino table.
Yeah, I heard stories. We got another caller in for you, man. 323, what's up?
What's happening, Fred? What's happening, Olden?
How you doing, sir?
Doing good, man. Hey, I got a quick question, man. In regards to ownership within the league, and this point comes from when you're speaking about what was it? Not Maverick, but what's LeBron's
Maverick
comrade, the one they try to put the rule out against, and that rule kind of
Rich Paul.
Rich Paul, yeah.
Yeah, Rich Paul, and that rule that the NCAA tried to come out with just heavily slated racism. But with that one, what do you think it takes for more Black ownership to come into the league? If the league is to expand, what does it take for a wealthy Black person to gain entry into the league? And is there some obstacles, or do other owners oppose this type of move being taking place in the league?
Yeah, the owners have to vote before somebody can be accepted as an ownership group. And so that's one of the main reasons. And so, they kind of like try to spread it out. We'll give you one Black owner. We'll give you the Indian owner. We'll give you, the gay owner. We'll give, and unfortunately, that's how it is. They're giving you one of each to cover, the spectrum. And so to me, it's not right. It's like whoever's the best person, it's like with anything else. If they're right for it and they got the financial backing, they should have the option. It's like, who's the highest bidder? And so I don't think they go with that a lot of times. They don't go to the highest bidder. Sometimes they'll take a lower bid, but they have the right group of people that they're looking for.
And why is it set like that? Because that is even just heavily soiled and just looking openly racist as hell, that you have to gain approval through these type 2 owners rather than a commissioner being the body that approves this. Like, I don't get that.
I don't have an answer for you other than he who makes the rule. He controls what he does. I mean, they make the rules. They can make it any way they want. And it's unfortunate, and I hear what you're saying, but it's going to be that way for a while. I wish we had more minority ownership, minority in the general manager positions and everything else, because a good 80% of the players, are minorities, but it's not represented on the other side, and so it's tough. Recently I was actually going to post this because I heard so many people saying that, they're afraid of going back to work. I'm like, hey, I'm raising my hand right now. Anybody who doesn't want to go back to work because of COVID-19, I'll take your spot.
I'm against you on that. Let us relax. Even though I'm still going to work, but I think about other folks. Let them relax. Let them stay home. Take time to relax. The billionaires and multi-millionaires have made enough money. Let them dig into their accounts. But also, my other thing is, what are your thoughts on? And this is the thing that turned me away. Where I really don't even watch basketball, none of that shit anymore. I just watch boxing. But and this has always been the most disgusting thing is when players find out about trades through watching Sports Center or a family friend or whatnot is watching it and calling them. How disgusting how disgusting is that to you? And should there be something done to GMs that make such unprofessional moves like that to players?
Well, it's not unprofessional. It's a way of life for sports. I personally found out I was traded on the TV.
Wow.
I'm shooting pool in
You
Santa
ain't got
Monica.
an issue with that?
What's that?
No, I was going to let you answer that, but I was going to say you don't have an issue with that?
Well, I'm going to get to that. I do have an issue because I'm shooting pool in Santa Monica, this place called Yankee Doodles. It's
Yankee
no longer
Doodles,
there.
yeah.
And so my friend goes, "Yo, you on TV?" And I'm like, I stopped shooting and I looked up, and on the bottom, Olden Polynice traded to Detroit Pistons for such and such. I was like, holy snap. So I get on the phone, call my lawyer, my agent rather, and I'm like, is that true? He's like, I didn't hear anything. I'm like, well, it's on TV. And so to me, that's foul. And so that's why I took offense when they got mad at LeBron for leaving. And I'm like, wait a minute, you don't give us any consideration when you trade us. So why you need him to tell you he's leaving? You know, you can't have it both ways. You know, if you screw people over, you're going to get screwed eventually. So I don't like that part of the business. I think it's foul. You know, I think you should always give people that much respect because you never know. You might end up in a situation, you know, where it's all turned around. So I just don't like that part of it. But there's a lot of there are the general managers that give you the respect, but there's quite a bit more that they don't give a damn.
Right, man. Man, that's a crazy story, and it's crazy you experienced that. And then what are your thoughts on like AAU basketball programs? What are your thoughts on that?
I hate it.
And what are your thoughts about? Oh, go ahead.
I hate it. I coached AAU for about 6 years, and the only reason I did it was to be around these young people and to just turn them onto game. You know, to have somebody that didn't have anything. You know, I have no ulterior motives. I wasn't trying to get anything from them. That's the only reason I did it. You know, I wanted to give back. But there's a lot of leeches, a lot of scum that are part of AAU. I'm not saying everybody, but there's a whole bunch. You got felons, you know, that are coaching AAU. They don't care about these kids, and I don't like it. And one of the things I always tell these young men, you are a professional anytime somebody's making money off of you. I don't care if it's a ticket, a hot dog, whatever. Anytime there's money being spent, you should consider yourself a professional and carry yourself as such.
Man, absolutely. Because I feel the same way with AAU league. I'm all about park ball. Grew up at Jesse Owens Park. I believe that's the way. I believe in the park and recreation build up for young athletes versus the exploitation of them. And I think too many, especially in premier sports that are populated by black athletes, there seems to be this early onset of those coming into the sport to exploit, and I always had an issue with that. But what are some of the things that can change with the exploitation of youth athletics? Are parents at fault for this, or there's ways that you can see this being changed? Or is it just it's become too big of a monster to go back from it?
Well, it became a monster, but they're curbing it a little bit because the NCAA, you know, first we got to get rid of the NCAA. That's the biggest scam in the world. And so,
tell us about
it. You know, with that being said, come on, they're nothing but pimps. NCAA is nothing but a bunch of pimps, man. You know, you're gonna use every kid possible, make billions of dollars, but they can't accept a hot dog, they can't accept a hamburger if they're starving. Come on, man, that's crap. So, you know, with that being said, again, the shoe companies tried to come in. Now they're all facing, you know, grand jury indictments and everything else. So at some point in time, there's going to have to be a fix And I think these young people being able to go from high school and make their own decisions is going to help them, because now they have a decision to make and they have a choice. I don't have to go to college if I don't want to. I can go make money. I tell kids all the time, if you're going to sit on a bench, get paid for it. You know, I'd rather you go make $500,000, $1 million sitting on the bench rather than go sit on the bench in college, you know, while they, they just collecting a check and stuff like that. So to me, you know, giving these kids choices is what they need. So the NBA has gotten involved with the new G League format and the select team format. So it's going to be a lot better for these young men, you know, to make better decisions for themselves. And they also have Europe that they can go to.
Man, right on. Man, I didn't think I'd ask you this many questions, man, because like I say, I've grown not being a fan of basketball for a minute, but it's you opened me to being intrigued by it. Also, man, damn, I'm asking a grip of questions, Fred. I'm about to get off.
That's good. That's good. We got.
All right.
You got 15 minutes. Oh, you got 15 minutes left in you.
I got 14.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. That's a deal.
Right on, man. But great build up. But what are your thought? What is the biggest temptations for a young athlete coming into this thing? Is it those coming, confronting these young kids with the drugs and stuff? Is it those, you're dealing with the groupies? What are your ways of words of advice to young athletes who move into this new realm of life to where they're dealing with all the temptation? You got the gold digging women, and they bad than a motherfucker. Drugs, all these other temptations. What are your ways of dealing with it, and did you have to deal with it as a young athlete?
The temptations are always going to be there. That's part of life. I always tell the young people, like I said, I coach AAU, and we tell them the women are always going to be there. Take care of yourself first, okay? The women will always be there. You don't go chase women, okay? So you got to, again, drugs are always going to be there. If you're a professional, be professional, okay? Even though they legalize marijuana and all that, they still test. So you got to take care of yourself. Bottom line, nothing more, nothing less. Take care of number one. And after that, if you want to take care of family and friends or whatever, you got to do it the way LeBron does. That's why I always tell them, watch what LeBron is doing. He's not giving people anything. He's not giving handouts. He's not giving you $100,000 and say, okay, leave me alone. No. You want a job, I will put you in a position to make money. Okay? And so to me, that's how you got to do it. If these young men and women want to help their family, put them in a position of to work, to do something. I don't care if it's your mom, make her CEO of something. Make her get up in the morning and do something for you. If your dad wants to do something, make him CEO of something. Don't do the handouts, because then people get lazy and complacent. You don't want to breathe that. Because what a lot of these young people don't realize is this, you're going to have to go take some classes, because none of us are growing up with parents making millions that know how to handle millions. So you got to figure out a way to, get your financial situation intact. You don't need to go chase, anybody to do that. You can take a class. You can have one of your family members take a class, because that's what LeBron did. Rich Paul had to go, get some training. Maverick Carter had to get some training. And so now these guys are basically running sports.
Powerful.
Man, absolutely. And that's why when we had that one call and people were hating on LeBron, how can you hate on the guy that's doing something like that? That's what adds to the buffoonery and foolery of people who make hateful statements against this dude. Things like this is no way.
That's to his greatness. I criticize LeBron for stuff on the court, because I'm an analyst, so I have to be impartial, and so I'm not going to hate on him off the court. Oh no, this dude is by himself on the Mount Rushmore as far as off the court and what he's done.
Wow.
So I'm never going to take that away from him. Any and all of my criticisms is basketball related. Like if when Steph Curry switches out on him and he doesn't post him up and just destroy him. I don't like that. You're 6'8", 280. Kill that dude. Dunk him and the basketball. Stuff like that I'm going to be critical of. But off the court, what he's done with his friends and family and everything else, what he's done with the kids in Ohio and what he continues to do, man, please. He's by himself. He's the GOAT of all GOATs.
Wow.
Man, you talking that? Are you part of the rookie symposium? Does the NBA bring you in for that? Because
no, they don't, unfortunately.
Wow, man. I know. I'm sitting there like, you dropping. Hey, they saying in the chat, you dropping gems. Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's why I wanted to do this, because it's like they don't realize, man. It's all good. I'm gonna find somebody to listen. Like I said, I got one. If nobody else wants to, I got a 19-year-old son right now that's 7 feet, shoots threes like clay. Okay. And when I release him out into the world, and they're gonna be like, "What the hell?" And he's only been playing 3 years.
Wow. He's 7 feet. Oh,
Adam.
7 feet, shoot threes like butter. He's on the same path as I am. 3 years into basketball. Started at 16.
Go ahead, Reg. I'll ask
Adam
about
Silver,
it.
I know you out here listening, Adam. You better bring Olden to the rookie symposium, man. But my last thing before I get out of here, Fred, man, you know you my brother.
Yeah.
Hey, that Bob Arum interview, I told you on Instagram, I put in the chat. That shit was brilliant to the 100 power, dude.
Wow.
You brought out a side of Bob. It made me like Bob Arum a little bit. And I know we dog him, but hearing him speak on history, the Muhammad Ali thing, for how old is Bob Arum? Like 90 or something?
Yeah, 2 years shy, maybe 87, 88, maybe.
Yeah. And for his memory, for him to go back and recall things like that, like, man, that's a masterful interview right there.
Thank
and copyright that shit. Nah.
Thank
great
you.
shit.
Yeah. I know. You know what the funniest shit ever is? I got on the phone when I got off that conversation, Reggie and I said, you know what? This people they're gonna use this for documentaries. They have to. Boxing documentaries, because I've never seen an interview like that with him. You know what I mean? Because Bob Arum started Top Rank with the Nation of Islam.
No, I don't.
Yeah, he started with the Nation of Islam, with
that
Elijah Muhammad.
He's done some things.
Yeah, in order for him to get Muhammad Ali, he had to fly to Chicago and meet with Elijah Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I asked him about all that stuff, because Malcolm X's birthday is Tuesday. So I've been inspired all this month to get all the Malcolm X stories out of people, So
right on. And I'm gonna get out of here. But one more question to Olden. God damn, man, Olden, you, like I said, I'm not even an NBA fan no more, but you open light to a lot of shit and you dropped a lot of gems. When it comes to things, do you know Al Heyman or anything? Have you ever had any speakings with him or anything?
No, I know who Al Heyman is. I know that whole crew, with Floyd. So, Floyd's a friend of mine, and I do know Al, but that's something I definitely want to have to sit down with.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off, but this been dope, man. It's classic right here.
Yeah, this is Keep
it rolling, Fred.
Appreciate you, big dog. Thanks, Reg. Man, this. Sure. Hey, but before we go, let's talk about your son, man. Let's talk about your son, so we can and we're gonna promote the hell out of your son on this channel. You know what I mean?
Oh,
because this is a whole new audience.
Chase.
Go ahead.
Yeah, his name is Chase, Chayce, 7-footer. He's attending the College of Southern Idaho, which is a nationally powered JUCO. And again, had to go that route because he started so late in basketball. He hasn't had what I did, the growth, as far as that, because when I did mine, as a sophomore, I really just got into it and accelerated to the point where I got, like 200 scholarship offers. And it was way different back then than it is now.
Sure.
So it's a lot harder for him, because being so young, but he is on a path right now. I mean, if you see him, this kid can shoot the basketball. He can block shots. He can play. He just needs more playing, Unlike he never played AAU. He played 2 games of AAU. And so he didn't have that luxury. I was fortunate enough to play for the #1 AAU team in America at the time, Riverside Church. And so my growth accelerated because I was playing a lot of basketball. And he just hasn't had that same opportunity. But like I said, but we're on a 5-year plan. And I told him that. I said, we are on a 5-year plan. In 5 years, he's going to make it to the NBA. So we're in year 3 right now.
Wow.
And he's already, about to be in his 2nd year in college, which is fine. So he's going to have that 2-year degree. And then we'll probably do another year maybe of college at a D1. And then boom, that's it.
How's the offers going into this going in for D1?
Oh, he's getting them. Oh, everybody, they know who he is now. So, but like we could have went, I can't say the name of the school, but we had a major D1 that wanted him. But I'll say it was Georgetown.
Okay.
And yeah, but they didn't have any scholarships. So we ran across like 4 schools like that, and he did get D1 offers, but not what we wanted. They were like lower D1 schools.
Gotcha.
And I was like, you know what? Just go to JUCO route, work on your game. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Because I don't want you to go sit for a year,
gotcha.
At a D1. But Georgetown definitely wanted him. They just didn't have any scholarships. I spoke with Patrick Ewing. He's like asking all these questions about him and everything else. And they saw him play. It's like, man, I wish I had a scholarship.
Gotcha. Yeah. So is he Von Maker, Kevin Durant?
No.
Kevin Garnett?
Like Kevin Durant, Giannis. He's on that path.
Okay.
But here's the one. My brother, he may know. He might be the only other person that knows more basketball than me, because I studied it. Not only did I play basketball, I really studied basketball. But my younger brother probably knows as much basketball than anybody.
Gotcha.
And he said 2 days ago, he says, I finally know who he reminds me of. I said, who? He said, Chris Webber.
No way.
I swear to God.
He can catch?
Like, whoa.
He can catch the ball? Your son can catch the ball moving?
What?
Man,
listen,
I was a point guard, so I know. When I was in college, I used to be mad at them white motherfuckers,
he's got hands. We do I started doing a drill with him like his first year.
Sure.
I call it the rifle drill. I put him under the basket, and I just throw the ball as hard as I can from like 10 feet. And there's 2 things: you either catch it or you get hit in the head.
Wow.
Not one drop.
Wow.
Not one drop. I have never seen anybody with hands like that outside of Karl Malone. And I'm not pumping him up because he's my son. I'm pumping him up because it's the truth. The kid is really, really good.
We're going to follow him. We're going to follow him. And when they start playing, I'm gonna read his stats. You know what I mean? I'm just keep his name, keep mentioning his name, and they gonna remember in the chat too, because it's a few thousand people watching.
Remember, we're on a 5-year plan.
I got you.
We're in the 3rd year right now, so he's actually only played 2.5 years of basketball, and everything got cut short because of COVID-19. So we've lost really 2 months of like true basketball workout.
Wow.
Because we couldn't get into any gyms. We do work here at the house, but there's only so much lifting you can do and shooting in the backyard. He needs to bang against people,
Sure. Last call of the night. We'll go.
Hey, Fred.
636. What's up?
Hey, Fred. What's up? You can hear me?
Hey, how you doing? What's up, Asia? How you feel?
I'm chilling. You know the intro. 55 sitting on 55 mil. Hey, Olden, pleasure speaking with you.
Same here.
Could you send some video clips of your son? Just like some shoot around little footage that he could post up where we could get some visuals of them, if that'd be okay.
Yeah, I'll put some up. I do have some stuff that I have put on YouTube.
Okay.
So, under his name. I'll put up some more stuff.
I'll put it in
and
my
this is what,
page.
again, you'll see. It's the kid got a stroke.
What about?
And he's getting bigger and stronger.
But I'm a UNC guy, Tar Heels. You think about bringing them there to the Tar Heels?
No.
Okay, no problem. All right, no problem. I have one question for you. what would you say was, in your honest opinion, the greatest era of professional basketball? We start with the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s on up to now. Which era you would feel was the...
You're probably not gonna like my answer because I'm one of these people that try to keep it, as real as I can, and
yes, sir,
and rational. And I'm gonna say every last one of them. The 50s, the 40s created NBA basketball. The 50s, they grew. The 60s, gave you, Wilt and Russell and all them guys. The 70s gave you Kareem and those guys. The 80s gave you Magic and Bird. The 90s gave you Jordan. 2000s gave you Shaq and Kobe. 10s gave you LeBron. Now we're in the 20s. We don't know what's going to happen in the 20s. But every era had its strengths and its moments, and it was all defining moments. And so to me, that's how you got to look at it. So it goes along with the GOAT question. Everybody was great in their time, and they should get the respect they deserve for what they did within their era.
Okay. So not one, for you personally, not one stand.
No, I mean, I didn't play in the 50s, 60s, 70s. I played in the 80s, 90s, and the 2000s. I likened the 80s and 90s to wrestling with a basketball, but we were really talented wrestlers with a basketball. And so, when Jordan came along and globalized the game, it made us really, really popular. But I really loved the 80s. I loved the physical aspect of the game. But again, here's the difference to me. Those players like in the 70s, 80s, let's say the 80s and 90s, you had 12 guys on a team. All 12 could play. You couldn't take a nut. That's why everybody played. That's why Isaiah Thomas came out limping. That's why John Stockton broke his finger and told the trainers, tape it up. You can't take a day off. You can't take a minute off because you're losing your spot. Now, guys come back after a month. You're still a starter. Man, listen, the 80s, 90s, you miss a month, you ain't starting no more.
Facts. Yeah, that was my era as well. I was at Vashon winning state championships, Hurricane St. Louis, STL, Roosevelt Rough Rider. You know what I'm talking about. Hey, but one last question. I'm off this line. Of course, you've seen the ESPN all-time top 10 list. I don't know if you was asked this question because I came in late. Could you give us your thoughts on it? Could you give us your thoughts on the ESPN list?
The ESPN is straight caca with their list. The top 74 straight trash. It's trash. It's like some dude sitting in his underwear, in his mama's basement talking about, okay, these are my top 70. Man, please stop it. And the top 10, you got to understand something. Again, no disrespect to LeBron. LeBron and ESPN have a deal, okay? So they're gonna always pump him up within, all aspects of whatever. And so they're gonna get him close to number one, but they're not gonna put him number one because The Last Dance was coming up. They were not gonna do that with Michael when he finally gave rights to them to showcase that documentary. So Michael was always gonna finish number one. LeBron, they have him now as number two because that's the next guy in line. And then everything else, I'm like, you got Kobe down, and come on, you cannot have Kobe down. Kobe cannot be no less than 5, man. I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize for that because I'm wholeheartedly in agreement with you. You definitely don't have to apologize to me for and about millions and billions of others that would agree. Everybody's scratching their head. How is LeBron surpassing Kobe? And this, has nothing to do with the tragedy. Is if Kobe was still alive, the same thing.
Yeah, it's the bottom line is, look at the stats, look at the numbers, man. Come on now. I respect LeBron's game, but we got to stop being prisoners of the moment, And I think that's what happened when LeBron came out. We became prisoners of all the moments. We never really realized, what that they don't realize what they're doing. You know, it's almost a disservice to them. You know, let the man play out. He has what, 3 rings? If it's about championships, he's nowhere near GOAT status because he only has 3. All the other guys have at least 5. And so to me, it's so wrong. And then you know, there's so many other things. You know how he didn't come through in certain games because perfect example is when they always ask, okay, 2 seconds on the clock, who's going to take the last shot? He's never part of the equation.
You guys still there?
Yeah,
okay, good. Yeah, you guys still there. Go ahead.
No, I said, name me one iconic shot that LeBron has taken. Like that's like, you know, we see Jordan with the right hand switch to left hand. We see the shot on Elo and he swing. You know, we see the 3-pointer against Portland. He does shrug. We know the Brian Russell push off the game winner. Okay, Kobe's got, you know, a ton of shots. What's LeBron's defining iconic shot?
Oh, okay, because you had went out, I didn't hear it. The one that so amazing when they kept playing the Kanye song. What year? He got eliminated. Orlando eliminated them that year, though.
No, we're talking about like a major. Like it has to be in the finals.
Okay, that was the Eastern Conference. Oh, in the finals. Oh, nothing. Like it goes back to the getting changed for $1. He's only going to give you 3
because
points.
you got to remember now. Watch this: Miami championship. Ray Allen defining shot, game winner.
Yeah.
Right.
Just like Sean
Cleveland
for,
championship. Kyrie Irving. Game winning shot, defining moment. It's other players that have the defining shots, not him.
Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah. He got the block.
You're correct.
The block is it, but it's not a shot. It's a friggin' Iguodala should have just went for the dunk. And he tried to lay it up like a dumbass.
Right.
He's got one defensive iconic. Well, they've turned it into an iconic, but I'm talking about. You're not gonna pick me to take a last-second shot. And come on now. I'm taking Bird. I'm taking Kobe. I'm taking Jordan. I'm taking a lot of people. I'm taking Kyrie. I'm taking Durant. I'm taking Steph. I'm taking Clay.
Shoot, Michael Thompson.
That's just my personal opinion, man. But again,
okay, it was a pleasure.
Only on the court.
Pleasure.
I only criticize him on the court.
Oh yeah. His story is not finished being written, so I guess he got some time to redeem some of his flaws. But as
he ain't gonna
know.
That ain't gonna happen. I'm sorry to tell you, that ain't gonna happen.
He is.
That's not gonna happen.
Year 17.
Yeah, he's in year 17. Nobody does that at year 17 unless you're getting some kind of help.
Yeah.
You hear what I said? Unless you get some kind of help.
It was a pleasure talking to you. Can't wait to see some footages of your son, Fred. You dropped the link so we can go look him up on YouTube.
Appreciate you. I will.
And, congratulations on all your successes, and come back again to the community. You know, it's been an honor.
You, man. Oh, I'm here. I ain't gone nowhere. I'm here. I ain't never gone nowhere.
I appreciate you.
I roll with the people.
My last question. What's your impression of LeVar Ball?
I like LeVar. You know, I think he was trying to do all the right things, just the wrong execution.
Damn, we said the same thing. Damn.
I love him, how he loves his sons. Again, it's the wrong execution. You know, I would have taken Nike's money or Adidas money, and then I open up Big Baller Brand. You know, it's little things like that. I understand where you're coming from, but you got to remember, we've had players with their own shoe companies. We're not the first. You know, Marbury had his own shoe. Chris Webber, Shaquille, a lot of guys had their own shoe companies trying to go up against the big boys. Why not take their money and then do your own thing.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You know, and the rest of that stuff was just all hype. You know, he was just hyping everything up. You know, he became a household name.
Yeah.
So I ain't mad at him for that. Get your money.
Yeah, facts. Big facts. Any last? Hey, you know who I have on tomorrow? I have Kendall Gill on tomorrow night.
Oh, my man KG. Tell him I said what's up.
I will. Any last word? So what I'm doing, is I'm expanding it beyond boxing. You understand? COVID-19 has inspired me, right? Because I'm always gone on the weekends. I says, you know what? My platform is big enough where I have thousands upon thousands subscribers now. Now that I can build it outside of the sport of boxing, so that's what I'm doing now. You know what I mean?
I love that, man.
Yeah,
hey, man, I wish you the best, man. Whatever I can do, man. You know,
I'm gonna lean on you
know.
for some guests. I'm definitely gonna lean on you for some guests, man, for sure.
Okay.
Anyone want to be on the show, just let me know. You know what I mean? I'll buy you a smoothie from Jamba Juice.
Hell yeah, and I'll take it too.
I know. But we're not there anymore, though. You're not there. You know. Do you still go up there?
We can always meet up there.
Yeah,
Shoot.
I got you. Well, we need to hang out anyway. We definitely need to hang out at some point. You know what I mean? For sure.
I need a poker
game. For real. Hey, speaking of poker, you know what I regret is not talking to Jerry Buss. You know what I mean? I regret not talking to him. I regret not going to talk because I can see him all the time.
You would have loved it. And he would have been so open and honest and warm. Dude, I'm telling you, it's like, you know, he's a billionaire, but he doesn't carry himself like a billionaire. He's just a regular dude.
Yeah.
That's what I loved about him, man.
I used to see him all the time.
Regular dude.
See him all the time at the bicycle, and the bicycles is closer. So I literally could have just went one table over. You know what I mean? And say, hey, what's up? But you know, Hollywood.
He would have shaken your hand, probably invite you to sit down and talk.
Damn, man. Gosh, maggot. Anyways, man, we genuinely appreciate you coming on here. Oh man, I'll call you tomorrow. I appreciate you coming on, man, and being a part of the community, anytime. Brother. I appreciate you all.
All right.
Thank you, brother. Olden Polynice, y'all. Olden Polynice, dog. Appreciate you. Man, thank you, man. We're expanding the brand, man. I just want to say thank you guys, man. And yeah, it definitely was a miss. Man, when I used to see him all the time, man. All the time. All I had, because he stands out because of his hair. You know what I mean? He had like that beach blonde gray hair. You know what I mean? You can't miss him. You know what I mean? And no security or nothing like that. Just sitting at the table, hanging out. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I appreciate. I'm definitely gonna get Craig Hodges on the show. I'm definitely gonna get. I know I used to have Craig Hodges' number because we worked the camp together. You know what I mean? We worked the camp. Let me take this call. 808. What's up? 808.
Hey, Fred, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, man, I just wanted to comment on a couple of things. So first of all, today I spent about 4 hours listening to your interview that you had with can't think of his name right now. I drew a blank. You just had him on. I think it was
yeah. Go ahead.
He hosted his own show.
I don't know.
Jason.
Oh man. Anyways, man, he waited 2 hours for that. I know Brandon Jennings very well. I was a mentor to Brandon Jennings. I don't have his new number, so I don't have his mom's. I used to have his mom's number and everybody, but I gotta go through those resources. You know what I mean? I'm still matriculating myself through those resources because I haven't used that, guys. I haven't used this piece of me in about 7 to 10 years. Like basketball, I don't get tickets to games anymore. I'm not in a producer role anymore where I'm literally talking to A-list actors once a week, twice a week. So because I've been in boxing the past decade. So I've been all centered on boxing. So now I got to rekindle these relationships, and their numbers have changed. They've gone on, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm doing now. So I'm rehashing that. And I appreciate y'all fucking with me for doing that. You know, I don't know Muggsy or Spud, but you know, and Brandon Jennings is dropped 55 as a rookie. Yeah. And then Gilbert Arenas came back the next day and Told him told him that he was a rookie. Brandon to tell that story. I can get Brandon. We have mutual friends still. So that's what it is, man. NBA players change their numbers every 3 to 4 months, and I don't have their new numbers. But luckily enough, here in the Baldwin Hills area, I'll see them on my run. I'll see their mother, I'll see their father, or I'll see someone that I know from that era. You know what I mean? And I'll get them, or I'll see them at the grocery store and stuff like that. So that's what I'm doing, in case you guys are wondering. So yeah. See if you can get. Hey guys, listen, y'all are producing the show. You know what I mean? Y'all questions were far greater than mine tonight. You understand what I'm saying? I was an ABC guy today. Y'all motherfuckers brought the flavor, the ingredients, the meat. You know what I'm saying? And but if whoever you think we can get on this platform, let's go. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? I would love to get Horace Grant and Isaiah Thomas. You understand what I'm saying? So we're gonna work on that. I got boxing on lock. You know what I mean? I'm gonna start calling all these guys and getting these interviews. And in terms of access to get them, you know what I mean? But in terms of getting basketball back, man, if I would have had this platform 10 years ago, man, I could have got every fucking body on this. Man, well, I knew everybody in the NBA, man. I was partying with them every fucking summer, so. But anyways, man, life is life. And so that's where we're at. So I appreciate you guys coming in tonight, man. Tomorrow we got Kendall Gill. It's going to be a fun show. And then Tuesday is Malcolm X's birthday. And we just going to powwow and have a good time. You know what I mean? Favorite memory, favorite, you know what I mean? We just talk about it. You know what I mean? So that's where we're at, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, Black Jesus. Black Moses is what they called him. Black Jesus, Black Moses is what they called him. You know what I mean? What up, DB? Man, you beat me to it, dog. What's up?
Man, this was awesome, man. This was phenomenal. This was great. Sometimes, you see somebody in the morning, you say, how you doing? But you don't necessarily mean it in a literal sense, like, tell me exactly how you're doing.
Yeah.
So sometimes when we say, man, this was a great show, we say it because it's kind of like it's kind of like just a thing to say. And this was one of those shows, man, where it was great. I tell you, man, I had personal conversations. I mean, as you know already, with Kobe, with John Sally, and Cedric Ceballos. And those conversations, have always been like the best conversations I've had with NBA players or former NBA players. This is added to the mix right here. Even though we weren't face to face. Having OP just being as candid and as honest as he was,
very
man.
Candid. Very candid.
Yeah, I think those are the ones. Man, we're boxing fans at the end of the day, and we know there's always fluff. And when we can get people like, I would love to have John Sally on here. I would love to have Meta World Peace on here. Yeah, like those are the guys who are not going to give us the politically correct answers. They're going to speak the truth.
I used to have all their numbers, man. I used to have all their numbers, man. When I worked at, man, I used to have all their numbers, man. I don't have them no more. So I gotta do my work. I gotta call 10 people. You know what I mean? I gotta do that shit during the day. I got y'all, but y'all gotta help me too. I got y'all. I promise. I'm doing my best. I promise.
Right on. Right on. Everybody in the chat, make our connections with who we know and who we see, and bring them all to the show, man. So we don't always have to grill everybody. Sometimes we get people in here, man. They educate us on things that we don't get a chance to hear and see about the NBA.
We learned a lot tonight. Learned a lot.
Yeah, that was great. Man, I have I don't know what this thing is called. It's a little radio. It's almost like a jukebox, but it don't work.
Oh, it don't. Damn. Fuck.
Yeah. But you got something that can play the music. Play the song, friend.
I appreciate you, dog. Hey, I appreciate you, man. All right, one, man. Phil, Picasso, Lane, what y'all doing in the chat? 01 hit. What numbers y'all? Eric, yeah, I appreciate you. Picasso, MXE, Picasso, Fred, Lane. I appreciate you, Patricia. Thank you. I appreciate you, Picasso. Man, we did a lot. Reggie Owens, I appreciate you, big dog. I was gonna go live in that interview too, but I didn't want the phone calls to come in because I got, some people don't like me. I wanted to do that conversation live, man. That shit would have been a motherfucking killer. You know what I mean? And it was just before Drew Titan went on too, so we would have finished right on time. Shout out to Drew Titan and one mixed player D Hodges. Phil, I appreciate everyone coming in tonight, man. We had a man. Woo, we had a hell of a weekend doing this show, dog. Hell of a weekend. Hey, if I say your name one more time, King Israel, I appreciate you. Sing this part.
Packs a plate with no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Games can play, can't take it personal. Cause the devil is a liar. I'm telling you the truth. It's all in what you do. So things you gotta do.
Damn, these COVID-19 shows be fire. We got 89 more days. 89 more days, y'all. Something somewhere in there, you know what I mean? 87 more days. And then we free out here in LA. You know what I mean? So yeah, so yeah, man. So Wednesday we have Yo-Yo. We have Yo-Yo tentatively, Janae Aiko, Fernando Pullum. Thursday we have Monty Trap Kitchen. She sells tacos. She has an amazing story. My gosh. Friday we have the Green Goddess Glow. You guys met her last night. And then Saturday we have Clipper Darrell. Sunday we have Austin Trout. And Monday we I don't know who we have next Monday. So it'll come in. So yeah, Yo-Yo gonna be in the building on Wednesday, y'all. Yo-Yo will be in the building on Wednesday. All right. Hopefully we got time to take calls. Yeah, Janae Aiko we've had conversations with her, but she hasn't confirmed. But so we'll see. If she comes in, she comes in. But that's Wednesday. All right. So that's gonna be pretty dope. You know what I mean? I'm home. You know what I mean? So why not use my resources? You know what I mean? That's all. Last time we're gonna sing this song, yo.
And fight this final round. Life's a play with no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Games can play, can't take it personal. Cause the devil is a liar. I'm telling you the truth. It's all in what you do. So things you gotta prove it.
You know, Master P changed his number, dog. Don't you know if I call Master P, he picks up on the first line and do anything I ask him to do? See, that's why if I would have been consistent, thank you, People Hernandez, I got my 5 mics, we would have Master P on the show this week. We would have him and Lil Romeo on the show this week. Master P wouldn't tell me no. You know what I mean? So I would. So I got to. Rome don't have the same number. I called him already this week. It's a completely different number. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? So, but we gonna work on it, y'all. We got time. All right. So we may have some low moments where there ain't no guests, and then it's gonna pop right up. Boom, 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 boom. They just start piling in. Anyways, man, I love y'all motherfuckers, man. We had a hell of a weekend. It was exhausting for all of us. I feel like I was in this chair for 72 hours. You know what I mean? But I love y'all, man. Thanks, Lavelle, man. We gonna hit his IG, man. Yeah, yeah, we should all hit his IG together. You know what I mean? And we'll do a hit list. We'll do a weekly hit list. You know what I mean? Who we want on. We just keep on hitting them all that week. You know what I mean? And we'll go from there. But I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all. And thanks, Eric. I'll holler at y'all tomorrow. Kendall Gill tomorrow. So go do your Wikipedia homework. You know what I mean? Nia Long lives on the same block where I'm doing a rehab. You know what I mean? So I'll holler. Yeah. And some more fine women. I'll holler. Appreciate y'all. I'll holler.